I sent us a picture of her sunflower.
Good.
Monster Man presents Counting to 10. Okay, class, let's count these munchkins together. 1.
Oh no, that's no good. Trying to get a bit more light.
It's made a massive shadow.
Yeah.
Go round, shadow puppets.
Yeah. Just bounce it off the ceiling. I don't think that's too bad.
Did you get Carl's text today?
Yes. I haven't responded. But I will do tomorrow. Oh look, 9, 8. Here we go. Alright, off you go, guys. In a second. A 1 viewer so far. We're just waiting for a few more viewers to join us. Hello there to those viewing already. We've while we're waiting for others to join, we've got a warm-up round for you. Where we have to put the following items in the order they're invented. The oldest to most, and we're not necessarily looking for them in the modern form. So you know, the electronic calculator, not necessarily the electronic calculator, but devices used to help people to do calculations. So we're looking for the oldest to the most recent. We've got the wheel, telephone, newspaper, batteries, bubblegum, and the aeroplane. Hello to those who've just joined us. As you can see down the bottom there, if you want to get in touch with a team name, if you're going with some other, then you can email or comment on the YouTube or send us a text message. and we'll see if anything comes through. I'm waiting for people to join. We just got a warm-up round, which you can see there, trying to put them in order of when they were invented, the most oldest to the most recent. Joined as we wait to start. We're having a warm-up round where we need to put those things in the order they were invented, from the oldest to most recent. We've got telephone, the wheel, the calculator, aeroplane, chewing gum, batteries, and newspapers. And we're not necessarily looking for them in their most modern, recognizable form, but really where the kind of germ of the idea, the sort of earliest form of the idea came from, which may well some of them in a different slot than you'd expect. If we have any kind of technical glitches this evening, don't worry if it all goes black for a minute. Might just mean I'm needing to reload it, and then so just sit tight if it all goes black, and I'll reappear soon after that, hopefully. And if you want to give us a team name, if you're got a team or want to shout out or anything like that, then you can see there we've got, you can email us, patchamquiz@yahoo.com, and also you can text or comment if you're able to on the live YouTube stream. The text or the commenting on the stream will be the best way to do it, really. And then I can check the email as well. So just waiting for people to come in, and then we will make a start with our quiz. Hope you like my shirt. The stripes on it. But the camera is making it seem like it's some kind of psychedelic shirt that's alive. So hopefully that doesn't mess with your eyes too much. I hope having this evening, we've got a couple of rounds of the quiz, and then we're going to have short talk from Kaz, who's the vicar, to some of the questions that we might be asking, and particularly a question that Jesus asks of each of us. And so we're going to have a couple of rounds before that, then the talk, then a couple of rounds after, and then we'll have a little bonus round, which will be the time, hopefully, where everyone will be able to text in their and hopefully we'll get an idea of how we've all done. Obviously, just for fun, but some opportunity to test your brain as well and see what you know. As I say, down the bottom there's that number you can text in. The email's not low, which is the same, or you can comment on the YouTube live stream as well. So I'll disappear for a moment so you can have trying to guess or work out what order they were invented, the oldest to the most recent. Telephone, wheel, calculator, aeroplane, bubblegum, batteries, and newspaper. Hello. Yeah, hello. Hello. just been told by one of my glamorous assistants that the sound, if that is the case, hopefully we'll be able to sort that out. But most of the time, hopefully we won't need to see me, we'll just be looking at the quiz, so that should make things a little bit easier. And welcome to those that have just joined us. And we'll have a couple more moments or a couple more minutes waiting for others to join. And then we can get started. So we've got our warm round. Where were these items? When were they invented? Oldest to the most recent. Wheel calculator. Newspapers. So not looking for them in their modern form, like an electronic calculator. But sort of right back to the first of that idea of using a device to help you calculate or that kind of thing. We've got our first team name has come in, and one team is called the Piggy Patrol. So we've got the Piggy Patrol team ready to go. So welcome to the Piggy Patrol. So again, for those that have just joined us recently, you can text in your name, your team name, if you've got a team name, on the number that's going along the bottom there, or you can email it in or comment on the YouTube stream there as well. And to say if we have any technical hitches and things go wrong, then just sort of hold fire for a minute. I'll perhaps reload it and then be back shortly. So don't worry if things go black for a minute. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll sort out and come back. Just be patient. So just a couple more minutes, and then we'll see. And while we're waiting, you can discuss that and see when you think was the most recent. Now, if you see any spelling mistakes during the quiz, then that doesn't get you any bonus points, I'm afraid. Hoping everybody can hear me fairly clearly. All of the questions and things will be up on the screen as well. So even if you can hear me too well, hopefully you should kind of get the gist of going on there. Okay, just 2 more minutes as we wait for people to see what's happening. And then we will make a start. So when were they invented? Oldest to most recent. To include this one in the quiz, so generally it will be 1 point per answer. In this case, we'll say when you get them. Now this one, I suppose, could be a bit controversial because there's always So, well, I'm the quiz setter, so my decision is going to be final on that one. But hopefully it'll be interesting to see just how far back some of these ideas go. And remember, in this one, we're thinking not necessarily about the modern concept of it. So, a device used to help people do calculations. So the calculator, the wheel, the telephone, the newspaper. So that being a regular thing given out to communicate news. So I think we've got another team name coming in, which is Team Brandy, I believe. So that's good. So welcome to those that have just joined us, and we'll make a start in just 1 minute. I'll just explain what we're doing again. So if you'd like to send in a comment or a shout out or anything like that, then or email in. From now on, I probably, but do still email them in if you want to, and I can shout out. If we have any technical problems, then hopefully come back. And we're going to have a couple of rounds of quiz in Westdean and the outskirts of Brighton, as for us, and then we'll have the rest of our quiz, and hopefully at the end people will, and we'll have another little. I think we will look to make a start now, and so I'll have a look a bit later, and here we go. Get ready. A point for everyone that you have in point. If you put it any other place, you don't. As I say, it might be a bit controversial, some of these, but we're really looking for the. So let's have a look and see how we've done on the one. This is what my and so the wheel, unsurprisingly, it's with a for a vehicle, 500 and 3,300 B sum, which I think will be a surprise, as of birch tree kind of time. Then of course sort of developed into, goes back many thousands of years. So that's believed to be kind of through dynasty in China. They would kind of diplomats and the modern electronic calculator calculate things. Goes all the way back to the Egyptians. This one along 1748. The battery in its kind of modern form perhaps predates that by quite a lot. Rather interesting. Then of course next the telephone, 1876. And last of all, famously, the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers really were the first to kind of fly in that manner, and wanting to jealous flight. So here we go. Another team name. So that's very good. So a number of others people appear, and we'll see if that makes. First round there, you get 1 point for everyone that you have about those. You can. Email to round one. Baghdad battery, which I thought was rather 150 BC to 6. Some people have suggested and salt water. So just in context, that would have actually it wouldn't have gone any further back than it was. So you can go and look that up. Some people claim to round one. So round 10 questions, all related. Year did this take place in? For each of the did a sheep named Dolly make headlines? Names of Dolly, which is lovely. Team Steventon are here. Here we go. There we go. Got a few other teams that haven't declared. What did Mike did from boxing? And you can spot the deliberate. So teachers, don't get your red pens out. So that's what did Mike Tyson do? More information that I'm just going to pause to try and get that all sorted out. So hopefully I've caught up now. And we'll move on to question 3. Chess champion Garry Kasparov was defeated by IBM's chess playing computer in this year. But what was the computer called? This is quite a fascinating story of the history of artificial intelligence. And you can look up Kasparov's comments on this, these events. And yeah, very interesting. There were certain times the computer was playing against him in chess, and the computer would crash because it just couldn't handle it. And so they sort of were allowed to reboot it multiple times, which was one of the things I think he said that he potentially sort of regretted about that interaction later on. So interesting there. So chess champion Garry Kasparov was defeated by IBM's chess playing computer in this year, but what was the computer called? Okay, on to question 4. On July this year, Hong Kong was handed back to China. Who was the last British governor of the territory? I remember watching this on the television and being too young really to understand quite what was going on. And on to question 5. The biggest grossing film from this year was The Full Monty. In which city is it set? And I guess you can probably guess why we've got no picture for this round, or this photo, this question. I seem to recall that Prince Charles famously imitated this scene from this film. It looks like we've got a couple more quiz names coming in. Let's have a quick look at those. Looks like we've got the Funky Gibbons. The Funky Gibbons joining us. So welcome to them. Okay, on to question 6. The Christmas #1 from this year was called Too Much. Who was it by? This was in the days before the X Factor was perennially the Christmas #1. So Christmas #1 from this year was called Too Much. Who was it by? And on to question number 7. On 4th of July this year, NASA's Pathfinder space probe landed on which planet? And that is an artist representation of it there, and that may give you a clue to the answer. Question 8. Princess Diana died in this year. Which city was she killed in? Now, this will have given away the year, I think, for many. What I can remember about that day was that I had a Tamagotchi. Whether anyone remembers those, Tamagotchis were also all the rage at this time. So that may be a little free bonus one there. So Princess Diana died in this year. Which city was she killed in? Question 9. The first Harry Potter book was released in this year. What was its American title? So not the title it was released in England with, but the American title. And you can see the very cherub-faced and youthful 3 people that were the actors in the film versions there. So what was its American title of the first Harry Potter book? And then, predictably, the last question of this round, what was the year? What year was it? So we'll go through the answers immediately after each round, hopefully, so you can keep track. It should have been a maximum of 7 points for that warm-up round, where we were putting things in historical order, and a maximum of 10. So, why did the sheep named Dolly make headlines this year? The first sheep to be cloned. Question 2. What did Mike Tyson do in this year that leads to him being suspended from boxing? Bites Evander Holyfield's ear. Question 3. Chess champion Garry Kasparov was defeated by IBM's chess-playing computer in this year, but what was it called? The answer is Deep Blue. Deep Blue. Question number 4. July this year, Hong Kong was handed back to China. The last British governor was Lord Chris Patton. Number 4. Biggest grossing film was The Full Monty. It was set in Sheffield. Sheffield was the answer to that one. Christmas number 1 from this year was called Too Much. Who was it by? It was by the Spice Girls. I won't sing it for you. Save that for the music round. Number 7, the Pathfinder probe landed on Mars, the red planet, as you can see from the picture. Princess Diana died in the city of Paris. And the first Harry Potter book was released in this year. Its American title was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, rather than Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which was the English title. Okay, we shall move swiftly on to round. Oh no, last one. What was the year? The year was 1997. 1997. So maximum of 10 points for that round. 1 point, a point for each answer, rather. And we shall move on to round 2, which is going to be Name That Tune. So I'm going to read, and in one case play a little bit of music. I'm going to read some song lyrics from fairly famous songs, and all you have to do is name the tune. So you get 1 point for each. You get half a point for the artist, the person who sung it, and half a point for the title of the song. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to read the lyrics for us. I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadow of love on her blind. She was my woman. So I'll do that one again. I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadow of love on her blind. She was my woman. That's question 1 in this round. Question 2. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice is soft like summer rain. And I cannot compete with you. So I have that one again. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice is soft like summer rain. And I cannot compete with you. As you'll see, I've rather chopped these up and started and finished in funny places to make it more difficult. So here we go. Question number 3 for this round. In my profession, I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. The blushing bride, she looks divine. The bridegroom, he's doing fine. So I'll have that one again. In my profession, I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. The blushing bride, she looks divine. The bridegroom, he's doing fine. That was question 3. On to question 4. The stars are aglow, and tonight how their light sets me dreaming. My love, do you know that your eyes are like stars, brightly beaming? I bring you and sing you So I'll have that one again. The stars are aglow, and tonight how their light sets me dreaming, my love. Do you know that your eyes are like stars brightly beaming? I bring you a song. I bring you and sing you Question 5 for this round. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a... So I have that one again for number 5. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a... Question 6 for this round. If you ever go down to Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Can sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good time drinking. So I have that one again. If you ever go down to Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good time drinking. Question 7 for this round. This one should be quite easy. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. Have that one again. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. This next one's going to be a listening one, so let's hope this comes through well for everybody. This is going to be a piece of music. we go. I hope you're all feeling nicely relaxed from that. That was question 8. And on to question 9 for this round. Quite as good as I should have. If I'd made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry. I was blind. You were... Have that one again. Quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry. I was blind. You were... And question 10, the last question in this round. When I grew up and I fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Let's go for that one again. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. So that was round 2. Name that tune. And we'll flick over now to the answers. So remember, half a point for the song and half a point for the person who wrote it or performed it, to a maximum of 10 points. So there we go. Name that tune. The first one was Delilah, famously sung by Tom Jones. Second one, Dolly Parton and Jolene. Third one was George Formby, When I'm Cleaning Windows, and all the rather iffy things that he sees when he's spying through people's windows. And as far as I understand from someone who used to clean windows, that is the kind of thing that used to happen when you'd be a window cleaner. Number 4, Glenn Miller, Moonlight Serenade. Number 5, Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Number 6, the Andrews Sisters, Rum and Coca-Cola. Number 7, Andy Williams, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. Although that says of you. Number 8, that was the piece of music we listened to. That was Johann Sebastian Bach, Air on the G String. Number 9, Elvis Presley, You Were Always on My Mind. And number 10, Doris Day, Que Sera, Sera. So a maximum of 10 points for that one, half a point for the artist and half a point for the song name. So I'll leave that up for another couple of seconds so people can just check, and then we shall move on to round 3. So round 3 is strap lines, or kind of taglines. So these are little short sayings which encompass what a brand is all about. So you can see for the first part of this round, we've got pictures. So it's what's the little kind of saying, the little catchphrase that goes along with each of these brands. So to give an example from a couple of years back, you might remember Asda. They used to, their strapline was, it's Asda price, doot doot. And the lady would tap her bottom on her jeans where she just pocketed her change because she'd saved so much money shopping at Asda. But obviously no longer for Asda is that what they do. But that's an example of a strap line. So we're going to have 5 pictures that we want the strap line, and then we're going to have in a moment 5 strap lines that we want the company or brand for. So I'll give you a moment to work out. They are Subway, Nike, Tesco, Honda, and Panasonic. So just give another 30 seconds on those. So what's the strapline for each of these brands? A little pithy saying that goes along with them in their advertising, like the Asda price. Okay, so with these ones, the next ones, what we want is what brand goes with them. So what brand uses this little phrase or has done in the past. So another few seconds on that one for round 3. And then we're going to switch over to a short talk from Kaz, who's the vicar of Ascension Church in Westing, which we've pre-recorded to try and make the sort of technology side of things a bit easier. And if it doesn't quite work at first, don't worry, we'll take a little time to get that sorted out, and hopefully everything will run smoothly. So another few seconds on that one, and then we shall switch over and have a short talk from Kaz, just thinking about some of the questions we might be asking, and one particularly question that Jesus asks us. Okay, so bear with us if the sound doesn't work quite right straight away. I'm going to disappear. Don't worry, it will work eventually. We hope.
Thanks to Bob for planning this evening. I hope you're enjoying the quiz so far. You're getting the brain working and getting at least some of the answers to the questions. Life is full of questions. Something that we understand from a young age. Children are always asking questions. It's said that kids ask around 75 questions a day, and that doesn't include the "are we there yet" question. There's lots of why questions. I heard one person say that as a child, she asked her mother why the ice cream man played music. And her mother responded with, "It's to let us know that he's run out of ice cream, dear." Often questions are more challenging and parents can't always find the answer. From a list of the 30 most challenging questions that kids ask, the why and how questions include: why is water wet? Why doesn't the sky fall down? How did the world begin? And why and how do clouds float? And then there are the what questions about life, the universe, and everything. What makes the earth spin? What is infinity? And that age-old mystery. What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's the number 2 on the list of the impossible questions kids ask. I wonder what the number 1 question you think would be. It is, what does God look like? There was a boy who sat at his kitchen table with paper and pencils, and his mum asked him, "What are you drawing, dear?" He said, "I'm drawing a picture of God." And his mother answered, "Well, that's interesting, but nobody knows what God looks like." And he responded, "Well, they will do when I've finished." What does God look like? Is that an impossible question? Well, not according to the Christian faith. Christians believe the question was answered 2,000 years ago when God came to the world in human form and walked this planet as the man Jesus. As those of his day said, he spoke of things that only God would speak of. He did things that only God could do. Stilling storms, healing people, raising the dead, and even rising from the dead himself. But perhaps the big question is, if Jesus is God, why would he allow himself to be accused, convicted, and executed like a common criminal? The answer is, in Jesus' words, because God loves. Probably the most famous thing Jesus ever said. God loved people so much that he gave Jesus his son, so that everyone who believes in him will not die, but have eternal life. Jesus provoked many questions and still has been doing so for the last 2,000 years, but he also asked questions. And possibly the most important and challenging question Jesus asked and continues to ask is, who do you say I am? We live in challenging days with many questions. How will come through COVID-19? What will the future look like? And what will it hold for me, for my family? Well, the answers are uncertain. The Christian faith says God's love is a sure thing. And his promise, Jesus' promise, is that he'll walk with us, hold our hand, and be there for us. I suggest the most important question for each of us comes from Jesus himself. Who do you say I am? If you'd like to explore a little more, we'd love to send you a booklet. And it's got a question, why Jesus? If you will email us, we'll send you a copy in the post. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Well, thank you there to Kaz for taking the time to prepare that and share that short thought with us. And I'm just going to put up on the screen email address. If you'd like to receive one of those little booklets, Why Jesus, then just send your details to that email address that you should be able to see on the screen there. And obviously we'll keep your data in accordance with all the data protection and so on and so forth. We won't use it to sort of send you lots of spam or anything, just to send you out one of those little booklets of information. So I would really encourage us to consider that question that we were asked. Maybe it's something we've all heard lots of times before, or is something new to you, or something that you're sort of aware of in the back of your mind, but have never really thought about in any way. I guess wherever we come on that question, something we've all got in common at the moment is, as Kaz was talking about, the fact that this virus has really stripped away a lot of the things that we perhaps feel we rely on or take for granted, our freedom to come and go as we please. I mean, who'd have thought that yeast and bread and toilet roll and sugar would be things that we'd be sort of scrambling around to get? So perhaps that's made us think, well, how secure are the things that we're looking at and looking into, and how secure are the things we're sort of relying on and building our lives around? And obviously I have to say for myself, I've found the answer to that question about who is Jesus, is that he's the Lord, and that actually he's one who brings hope even when it seems beyond hope. So I really encourage you to consider that, and we'd love to send you out one of those little booklets. Just get in touch with the email address that you can see there, and I'll put that one up again at the end. Now, I've been reminded by my assistant that I didn't give the answers to the questions for round 3, so I'll do that now. So this one's out of 10. Again, 1 per answer, either picture and given the strapline, or strapline and given the brand. So here we go. So Subway, eat fresh. Nike, just do it. Tesco, every little helps. Panasonic, ideas for life. And Honda, the power of dreams. Honda adverts full of those, I think they're called Rube Goldberg machines, which are machines that sort of exist to achieve nothing, really, but are very complex and technical. You can remember everything sort of falling over like dominoes, wheels, and all sorts of things like that. So very memorable advertising. Panasonic, perhaps not so much in my thinking. I knew all of them apart from that ideas for life when I was researching. So that's the first part of that round, the answers to it. And the second part, love it or hate it. That, of course, is a tagline for Marmite. Let's hope that you're not someone in the love it camp at the moment, because it's a bit rare. Good things come to those who wait. That's Guinness, which I'm pretty sure I've spelt incorrectly there. Should have proofread this beforehand, shouldn't I? That would have been sensible. It's a bit of an animal, is pepperami, which is those little mini sausages. I'm loving it, McDonald's, which of course people are at the moment with the massive queues outside the McDonald's drive-thrus, causing congestion. And of course the last one, 5 beans means Heinz. So that was 1 point for each of those questions there, 1 point for each of those questions. Give us another few seconds to work out how we did. Now, the next round is going to be catchphrases, or sometimes they're known as kind of windings, which means a kind of picture made up of words, and you have to pay attention to how the words are broken up or positioned relative to each other or to the screen in order to make up a word. So hopefully it will become fairly obvious once we see the first one. And here we go, round 4. So you have to work out what is the word that's being talked about there. It's just a it's just a word. So you have to think, well, what's special about the different aids and the arrow? What's significant about that? How are they all related together to get the answer? Oh, the beard. Okay, so that's the first question. Second one. Can't say too much about this one, otherwise I'd give it away. Say what you see, say what you see. That's the famous catchphrase saying. Number 3. What's going on here? And the next catchphrase. It's probably a good moment to say that many of these things have been borrowed from the internet, so don't make any particular claims of originality in all of these, and you can go and find them or ask where I got them from if you're interested. And the next one in the catchphrase round. What have we got here? How are they positioned? That's the important thing. And the next one. Say what you see, just say what you see. We haven't got Mr. Chips in this round, unfortunately. Here we go. What have we got here? This one's the most difficult one, I think. What's going on there? This is a phrase, this one. Next one. I think this might well be the last one in this round. Oh, okay, right, let's go back. And there's a sneak preview of what round 5 is going to be. So we'll go back to the beginning of these ones, and then I will give the answers. Okay, so question 1 of this round is 1 point each. So there's several aids there, and the one at the top is the first aid. So first aid is the answer to that one. It's the first aid. As you can see, it's the top one, so it's first aid. Second one, all you have to do really is say this one. Defeat, defeat, defeat for that one. D and feet, defeat. Third one. What's the milk doing? The milk is shaking. A milkshake. Either that or the milk is giving off some Wi-Fi signal. But no, milkshake is the answer to that one. So make sure you're totaling up your scores as you go, and then hopefully everyone will be able to send them in while we do our last little bonus bit, and we wait, and then we'll find out how people have done. Next one, Jack inside a pot, jackpot. Like if you win the lottery, you win the jackpot. Jackpot. Sadly, no jackpot prize for the winner of the quiz tonight, other than knowing that you were the winner. This is a good one. So what we've got is lem. And where is the lem? The lem is on the aid. So it's lemonade, lemonade. Lovely to drink with some Pims in the summer weather. Lemonade. This one, there's overs, and where are the overs? The overs are on the left. So it's leftovers, leftovers. This one has a piratical theme. We've got 8. So these are pieces of 8. Pieces of 8. This one I think is the most difficult. Divide, and another name for a chestnut is a conker. So it's divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. And funnily enough, we actually saw some conkers that had already fallen on the floor when we were at a park at the weekend, which is remarkable, very early for them to be falling this year. So divide and conquer for that one. Next one, a pit. And the pit is lacking a bottom. The letters haven't got any bottom on them. So it's a bottomless pit. Bottomless pit. And the last one, I think, how many? There's fun, and there's 4 funs, and there's only 4 or just 4. So it's just for fun. Just for fun. Just for fun. Okay, round 5 is the potluck round, which is really where I put some of the silly questions that didn't fit anywhere else, or just random things that I thought would be fun. So there's going to be 10 questions, as ever, 1 point for each in this round. Question 1. Where in the world is this? Might well be easier for some than others. This question. So where in the world is this, or what is it? Question 1. Question 2. Bit of maths and statistics. If you are in a group of 23 people, what is the percentage chance that 2 of them will share a birthday? So yeah, what's the percentage chance that 2 of them will have a birthday on the same day of the year if you're in a group of 23 people? I don't know how you'd go about starting to work this out. And I'll be a bit lenient and I'll probably allow sort of 10% either way on this one. Okay, another couple of seconds on this one. Oh, I've got a question here that's come in on the comments. Can we have level-headed for number 8? Let's have a look. I'm going to go back. Let's go back and have a look. Level-headed. No, I can't see how it can be level-headed. So I think we'll say no to can we have level-headed for number 8. Maybe it's too clever and it's beyond me. But I think we'll say no for that one. Okay. Oh, here we go. Next question, for round 5. What is the current share price of the company Zoom Video Communications, Inc. in US dollars? And I'll be checking that momentarily to get the up-to-date figure. And a bonus point is available. What was it on 31st of December 2019? So the last day of last year. Zoom Video Communications, probably many of us are now familiar with Zoom and will be so for some time. And I'll allow to the sort of nearest 10, we'll say, on this one. So actually there'll be 11 points available in this. Because of that bonus one. Okay, next question. What is the purpose of this tool? I can imagine using it would have been physically very hard work. So what is the purpose of this tool? Next one. What is this? What is this? So these 3 riddles, they're each separate questions, so it will end up being a point for each. And if you're a hobbit, then you'll enjoy these, but otherwise you may well know them or not, so we'll have a look. What becomes wetter the more it dries? What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? And then a word I know, 6 letters it contains, remove 1 letter, and 12 remains. What is it? So these are 3 individual questions. you longer for these ones. Okay, I have a few more seconds on those ones. These are good for those of you that like a crossword. Have to do a bit of lateral thinking. About 10 more seconds on these. Okay, on to the next question. What is this creature called? What is he called? And no, it isn't a Pokemon. It's an actual creature. Okay. How many days was the Premier League season suspended for this year before it resumed? How many days was it suspended for, to the consternation of many? How many days was it suspended for this year? That is the last question. So we shall move on to the answers. So where in the world is this? If you live in Brighton, this would have been significantly easier because the answer is the Chattree War Memorial, which was built just outside Brighton. Going to have a look up the Zoom share price currently to be ready for the next question. So the Chattree War Memorial near Brighton, and amazing that photo there. Now it's almost entirely surrounded by trees, but this must have been many years ago when the trees hadn't grown up. So if you're in a group of 23 people, what is the percentage chance that 2 of them will share a birthday? Apparently it is 50%. 50% chance. And so you're allowed anywhere between 40 and 60, and you can have a point for that. So if you were wise and just went straight down the middle, you've probably done quite well on that one. Seems surprisingly high to me, but I don't understand the sort of statistics of it. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's get rid of that. Then you can actually see the answer. There we go. Okay. So what is the current share price of Zoom in US dollars? I can confirm that as of right now, it is $274.93, which is up. Oh, it's just changed. $274.82. $274.82. That's up 5.3. Cool, it's changing constantly. There you go. So we're going 274. So anywhere between 270 and 280 you're allowed. So that's the current price. Amazingly, if you had shares in Zoom, you'd be very pleased now, because the bonus point on 31st December 2019, it was $68. $68. So there's a company that's done very well out of the virus, adding nearly $200 to its share price in just a few months. What is the purpose of this tool? The purpose is cutting grooves and slots in wood. It is a pre-electricity router for cutting out grooves and slots in wood. I can imagine that would be absolutely horrific to try and use, and would have taken forever to actually cut anything out. But remarkably, people used them and made wonderful furniture with them. So yes, it's a router, or for cutting wood or slots, any of that sort of answer. Here we go. What is this? It's a dragon fruit. If you're clever and you know the sort of Latin name or something else for it, then you can have yourself a point for that as well. Solve these riddles. What becomes wetter the more it dries? A towel. What 5-letter word becomes shorter? The answer's there. Short plus ER equals shorter. You add 2 letters to short, E and R, and it becomes shorter. I learnt the other day about things called contronyms, which are words that have 2 contradictory meanings. Words like weather, where you can weather a storm, or you can be weathered by a storm, which I thought was quite interesting. Nothing to do with that riddle, but there you go. So short is the answer to that one. A word I know, 6 letters it contains. Remove 1 letter and 12 remain. What is it? Dozens. So 6 letters, remove the S, and you get dozen, which is of course 12. So dozens is the answer to that riddle. What's this creature called? An axolotl. Axolotl. How many days was the Premier League season suspended for this year? 100 days. 100 days. So hopefully you should be able to total up your score. If my maths is correct, it's out of 58. And then do text it or email it or comment it on YouTube. And I'll put up the information there. So as you're collating your scores, in a moment I'll put up a little bonus that we can have a look at while we're waiting for scores to come in. Just a reminder, if you'd like one of those books, I'll put the email address up in a moment, and you can get in touch and send us one. If you're interested in joining us for one of our services, they can be found on this very same YouTube channel. To the one for this Sunday may well be already up or going up in the next day or so, and that's an opportunity to come and hear a little bit more. You can watch and join in at home, and we of course hope soon to be able to start meeting together in person again. But yeah, you can access or past services for the past couple of weeks on this YouTube channel. And say as well that if you have any feedback, whether you liked it or didn't like it, or anything could have been done better, whether you would like another quiz, if people have enjoyed it, do email that through, or text it through, or comment it. You know, was it too easy, too difficult, all that kind of thing. Just let us know any feedback you have. So while I wait for the scores, hopefully, to start trickling in, so we can see at least how a few of us have done, I've got a little bonus thing, which is these 4 things are very close-up photos. So they're very close-up photos of objects. So this isn't in the quiz. This doesn't count. You don't get points for this. This is just to keep us busy while we wait for all the scores to come in. So yeah, these 4 pictures, I'll leave them on the screen. What are they super close-up shots of? So we'll just wait for everything to come in. Here we go. We're starting to get in some scores. Oh dear. So let's get some scores up. 28.5 from Frandy. Thankfully, them not being allowed level-headed for number 8 probably isn't going to make any difference, as Stevenson's have got 32. And we've had email in from the Piggy Patrol. They only got 26 for Piggy Patrol. I guess that's what happens when you have guinea pigs on your team. So Stevenson's currently in the lead as we wait for a few more. Another little Easter egg is I wonder if any of you are observant enough to tell me what changed between the first 3 rounds and after Kaz's video. What changed? So something changed from what it was in the first round to something changed between the first 3 rounds and the last 2 rounds. So if anyone fancies having a go at that. Yes, did anyone notice what changed? Thanks for joining us this evening as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. And as I say, do let us know any. Here we go. Okay. Whether you'd like another quiz or enjoyed it. Ha ha ha. So I think we may well have all of our scores in. So Susan scored 24, and the Cornish pasties, they've answered the question of what changed, but I don't think. Oh, there you go. They've just sent me their score. Okay, so let's just make sure I'm going to write out all the scores. So I don't miss anybody. I'm going to see if anyone else notices what changed as well. It seems like the quiz was probably a bit too hard because everybody has only got around the 20 or 30 mark. So let's have a look and see. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Bear with me while I get the scores. Okay. And okay, so here we go. So Susan got 24. The Piggy Patrol got 26. Frandy got 28.5. The Funky Gibbons got 26. The Cornish Pasties got 30. And the Stevensons got 32. So it looks like they are our winners for this evening. So well done to them. And quite a few of you successfully noticed that what changed? My shirt changed in between. I had the crazy psychedelic shirt on before, but now I've got this lovely flowery shirt, which is nice and cool in the evening. So thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun. And as I say, do give us some feedback. And if you would like one of those books sent out, then last chance to take down that address. And then I will reveal the bonus round answers. So hopefully you've... it's a good job these don't count, actually, because they could well have changed the outcome of the quiz. But, here we go. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So, extreme close-up shots. And here we go. What are the extreme close-up shots of? So they're going to be replaced roughly in the same space with what they are. So the first one was the seeds from inside a bell pepper. The seeds from inside a bell pepper. I'll go back and you can see. There you go. So you can see really close up of the seeds. Second one, the pages of a book, really close up. The third one, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but that is some cornflake cereal. So if I go back, you'll probably be able to see there that it is indeed some cornflakes. And the last one looks like an alien landscape, but is in fact cinnamon sticks or cinnamon bark, as you might call it. So yeah, thank you again for joining us for the quiz. Hope you had fun. Do send in any feedback if you'd like another one, that kind of thing. And I shall say thank you and bid you all good night.